I'm going to start this off in a layman's approach. A layman's approach to math is showing someone math without being technically inclined. Throughout this video, I'm going to assume that you don't know math or you know very little math, okay? So as I use these vocabularies and interpretations, they may be a little different than what you're used to seeing. I will show you the formal approach to it though, and then I'm going to show you how, after looking at the formal approach, how you can use it using a layman's approach. Okay? Now, solving problems involving integers. This right here says a minus 5 plus 3. This says minus 5 minus 3. This says minus 5 plus a negative 3. When does a negative become a minus is one of the mysteries that people don't understand, but hopefully we'll clear this up. Minus 5 minus a negative 3. How do you solve this problem? In order to solve this problem, and this is the fundamental step, by the way, where people lose it with algebra, and that is interpreting how to deal with sine numbers. So with that being said, let's take a look at an approach. And again, this is an unorthodox layman's approach, okay? Rules for adding and subtracting integers. Remember their definition. What are integers? Any numbers with signs on them, sign numbers. I want to say really whole numbers with signs, but you get the point, okay? When adding or subtracting signed numbers, remember, a minus means you owe, a plus means you have. See, by using this approach, people don't get their money wrong. If I owe you $2 and I owe you $3, certainly I owe you $5. But what happens if I owe you $2 and I have $1? Don't I still owe you $1? And that's the approach we're trying to take. Another approach is to read it like temperature. If you're so many degrees below zero and you drop some more degrees, I mean a minus means you drop. But let's look at those two interpretations, and then let's look at the formal way that they actually teach you in class how to do that. Okay? When adding or subtracting signed numbers, remember minus means you owe and a plus means you have. For example, what should be the result of this? Let me see. I owe $5, but I have 3. That means I'm still going to owe something. Anytime the number with the largest number, the sign with the largest number, when you're adding and subtracting, you end up with that sign. So certainly I'm going to owe more than I have. You agree? If I owe you $5 and I have 3, I still owe you 2. Let's take the temperature approach. Suppose if there were 5 degrees below zero and it gained 3 more degrees. It shouldn't be as cold, right? So you actually come up, and so you end up with 2 below zero. Some of my good friends have played a game called Spades. And if you remember how to play Spades, remember a minus means you were in the hole, and a plus means you was on board. If I'm 5 in the hole, and I gain, meaning the plus sign, 3 books. I'm not still in the hole though, but I'm not as deep in the hole. I'm minus 2 in the hole. If you got that and you understand that, you got a really good way of dealing with numbers, especially when it comes to your money. Similarly, what would be the answer here? I can't tell you how many people see 2 somewhere in there, either negative 2 or positive 2, but if you're following money, it's not a negative 2 or positive 2. You should see this as I owe 5 and I owe 3, I owe 8. Negative 5 minus 3 is equal to a negative 8. Now, did you hear what I just said? I said negative 5 minus 3. When does a negative become a negative, but a minus is a minus? As you begin to work these problems out, you'll begin to see, particularly when I start talking about multiplication, okay?